Alright, hi everyone, welcome back to SNN, and today we're gonna discuss Captain Marvel. So, I have seen the movie, so has Noel.
I just watched the movie too.
I have not seen the movie. I don't care to see the movie. So you guys prove me wrong. Tell me why I should go see the movie.
Okay. I guess we'll do a section of non-spoilers first, and then if...
Yeah, this goes for everybody that hasn't seen it yet. It's a non-spoiler.
Because it comes out tomorrow, technically.
Technically,
Yeah.
today
Well,
being...
we're filming on Thursday. So, Thursday, March 7th. It comes
Okay.
out on the 8th.
Yeah.
So, I guess, we can start off with, for example, for me and Noel, since we saw the movie, what were we expecting? Were you at expectation? How were you going into this movie?
Well, see, you gotta think about it like this. When I walked into that movie theater, I walked in there with an open mind. I don't judge a movie by watching the trailers, by hearing what other people have to say. I walk in there with an open mind, and I walk out with my personal opinion. And to be honest, Captain Marvel is a movie you should go watch. It got trashed on a lot, but when you take all that aside, when you take away, the drama that was being said, and you go in there and you watch the movie for what it is, you learn to appreciate it.
So for me personally, though, I was super excited for this movie.
Why?
Because it's just Captain Marvel. I'm gonna be honest, she's I've known her to be a super powerful character, right? And I was
Powerful
excited.
enough to lead the MCU from here on out. More powerful than Scarlet Witch, for example, that they've been kind of building up to be the most powerful character. And now they're gonna introduce somebody else who's more powerful, who's gonna save the day. What are your thoughts on that, Nelson?
So obviously yes, Carol Danvers. If you want to think about it like this, she is a Rey. If that's how you want to put it, she
Rey
comes
from
in.
Star Wars.
She's super powerful. She's strong. She's to the next level. If you watch the movie, I personally can say she's the strongest one. So in the next movie, I feel like they need to show her power. Wherever she goes to, there are rumors that Thanos is not going to be even the main one in Endgame. It's going to be his father, the Eternals. See what happens with that. But I want to see a scene when she goes all at it. Because in this one, we don't want to give spoilers, but at the end, she gets to shine a little bit. But for me,
Spoiler alert.
no, okay. There's no spoilers here.
Hold on.
Okay.
It's because you gotta think about it. Every movie, it's beginning, middle, end, and you want to hit that climax. So of course you're gonna build up to it. So for someone to say, she gets her little spark, she gets her shine. So does every movie.
Yeah, that's
what I'm
true.
saying? So it's not really much of a spoiler.
Of course.
It's that. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
At least with me, I don't really care too much about the politics and the drama behind it. I like movies for what they are, a movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna block out all that other negativity out of it. Captain Marvel, positive things in it. Good story. I love the theme. There's little stuff in there that you see and you're like, oh snap! This is really in here. 90s, 95. That's when the movie takes place. You got Blockbuster in there. You have little throwbacks.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I don't know if it's in the movie. That's just 95 to me.
Exactly. So it's really cool seeing stuff like that and the way they just built up to all these characters. And just I enjoyed it. I really went in there and whether it was gonna make me disappointed or make me excited about it, I can honestly say that after watching the movie, I'm pretty ecstatic about it.
I honestly think, for me, the movie was good. I liked it to myself. I liked it. I think it was good. There is going to be a problem. I think a lot of people are not going to like the way the movie is set up because there's a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah,
there's a lot of flashbacks in this.
And that's one of the things about it. It's so much is happening all at once that it kind of starts to confuse you. The movie starts with a flashback scene, and then suddenly it's present time. You're not being introduced to certain characters. Everything's just happening all at once. You're 5 minutes into the movie, and they're already squatted up like about to land in tilted towers and just demolish everything. You know,
This motherfucker.
know, and-
Fortnite reference.
exactly. You know, and
In
it's
2019.
Yeah.
and it's not until you're like what 30 45 minutes into the movie that you kind of start getting all the pieces to the puzzle put together, and it's like, okay, you know, it's not bad, but if we're in this part of the story, why you gotta take me back all the way over here to mention this when you could have just done it all at once?
Right, like, they could have taken the, like...
You know, and that's cool though, because towards the end of the movie, it all starts making sense. And, you know, I understand why they did that, but still that, to me, that's probably one of the biggest complaints. The fact that, like, you're watching current, present time things, and then it's, oh, this is going on, and this is happening, and it's just too much all at once, you know? It's just, take
Well,
it slow.
At
you
least
know?
they're getting it out of the way before Avengers
Yeah.
Endgame comes out.
And, you know, in a way, I feel like that's kind of what it was. It, like, you know...
It was like a setup to her being the badass and swooping and saving the day.
Yeah.
Well,
in
it's because
Endgame.
not only did you introduce a new hero, it kind of, I'm not going to say it felt like a filler movie, but it was just something that's there for, like, to keep us there and keep watching the movies and just get us prepared for the next one, because Avengers Endgame is the next movie.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Well, for her, anyways.
well, just in
No, in
general.
general,
Just
yeah.
in general, you
It
know.
comes out before Spider-Man.
Exactly. That's the next Marvel movie. And that's what this does, you know. It kind of... It doesn't lead up to it, but it gives you a preview of what you know, what she is and what she does, you know, what her powers consist of, you know, and
Superman powers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Oh, she can do this just because I say so.
Okay. So, I mean, really, with this movie and with any movie, we can't go on much without doing any spoilers. So, we're probably going to go to a spoiler section. But before that, like, what would you give her as a rate?
well, look, if I had to rate Captain Marvel out of 10,
You have to. Yeah.
Like, her as the character or as the movie?
the entire movie,
Okay.
you know, but that is good too if you rate him separately, the character and the movie.
Yeah.
I have to give the actual movie for everything that it was an 8.7 out of 10.
Okay.
And the only reason why it gets that is because of the whole flashback sequence where you're putting too much all at once, and it's just, you know, you're confusing me. You know, you're showing me flashback, and then next scene you're showing me present time, but they're supposed to connect. I was just so invested in all these other characters too. You know, you got Goose. the
Goose!
cat,
Big chunk goose!
you know, and you know, if you pay attention to that, you know, it's a lovable character. You know, you got the '90s version of Nick Fury with both eyes.
Yeah,
you
with
know?
the CGI.
Exactly.
Like what Marvel or Disney loves to do is how they take their main actors and like de-age them. Like with Ant-Man and the Wasp. You remember? Did you see that?
No.
You never saw the... Okay.
I mean, it's just like, it's not that I have anything against
Well, it took
Ant-Man.
Michelle Pfeiffer and they de-aged her for a flashback. And it looked great. Remember in a Civil War?
They did the same
They
thing
did
with
something
Robert
with
Downey
Robert.
Jr.
Yeah. And that's good technology they're
Yeah.
sitting on.
You know, and you know, you got Goose, you got old school Nick Fury, you know, you got Ronan, the Accuser. You know, it's
Yeah.
really great because, you know, you just watch like, you know, this old Guardians of the Galaxy movie, you know, Ronan's in it, you know.
Yep.
And then you have
It's a
like
good
this
callback.
throwback, you know, and you get to see Ronan in it, and it's just like, oh, it brings you back like, oh snap, Ronan, you know. It was really, I was like super big on Ronan in this movie.
So, they have
Good
Ronan.
thing,
And that was like a big thing.
Well,
right?
Ronan was in the trailers anyway, so
Yeah,
it's
he
not
was
a
in-
spoiler section.
Yeah, he was. But they pulled, what's it called?
Well, you know, they have the squirrels in the movie too.
Yeah.
Which,
The goddamn squirrels.
and you know, out of the entire squirrels that are in this movie, Talon has to be my favorite because he's funny, and he shows his character like no other. And you know, they're portrayed as the bad people, and then you get hit with that big old plot twist that they're not bad. They're doing the wrong things for the right reasons because they are separated from their families. Because, you know, the group that, you know, Captain Marvel was brought into, and this is what you find out later in the movie, she got taken in and she got taught all these things, but they're all bad guys. Each and every single one of them was a bad guy, and they basically tried to brainwash her into thinking these are bad guys when they're just innocent people trying to get a home, trying to get a planet, and trying to get their people together. So when you find that out, it blows your mind because that was a big old 360 on you. So the good guys are the bad guys, and the
So
bad
let me
guys
ask you
are the
this,
good guys.
okay? What do you think the chances of Avengers Endgame that one of the Avengers is going to be a squirrel?
Squirrel?
Squirrel.
You see?
Squirrel. The
Squirrel.
entire time.
So they're like, see,
A
like
squirrel.
scroll.
Scroll. A squirrel the entire time.
Well, okay, look.
Like, what do you think the chances of that happening are?
I was under the impression because of Secret Invasion, right? Everybody, there's like a big rumor that the next Avenger after Endgame is gonna be Secret Invasion, right?
Yeah.
Where like Skrulls are disguising themselves, Skrulls are disguising themselves Avengers, and they fight each other, right? So what I was thinking is like when I was talking about was that I thought the Skrulls were actually bad, and they actually make it seem like that in the beginning, but then turns out the Skrulls are actually good.
But in
and all of
the
that.
comic books.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking about is that there's a group within the Skrulls that are actually bad. Like,
Yeah, because they
They're
Like
like-
separate factions?
Yeah, like,
maybe?
yeah,
they
different
mentioned that.
factions,
They
yeah.
mention it. You know, they mentioned that the whole point is because they're separated. So you know, just because one group is here and one group is there doesn't
Yeah.
mean they have the same type of vibe. They're not following the same mindset. You know,
Yeah.
these guys are good. What if these guys are bad? What did they have to do to
Like,
survive?
they're the same race of people, but they just
Yeah.
have different mindsets.
Exactly. And
Okay.
you know, and you know, bringing up the question of what if in the next Avengers movie there's a secret squirrel in it? Well, you know, it could be anybody. It could be from Iron Man to Captain America.
Those goddamn squirrels.
There's disguise themselves.
In my opinion, it could. You know, I'm gonna have to go with Captain America.
You think so?
Yeah, dude.
I know that was a thing in the comics.
Because that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
It would.
It'd be
But
crazy.
because he's so wholesome and pure and
What do
like,
you think it's gonna be? Or no, you don't have enough.
like War Machine. You fucking I mean, lesser
Yeah.
characters. You know? Because we've had backstories on most of the characters. Like
And that's how they
Scarlet
get
Witch isn't gonna be one because she got her powers from, you know, the Mind Stone.
Okay.
And that's why she loves Vision so much. You know, Black Panther isn't gonna be a Skrull because he was born into the role. You know, it's not gonna be Vision because he was made in a freaking lab. It's not gonna be Spider-Man because he was bitten by a freaking spider. You know, it's not gonna be Iron Man because come on, if it's gonna be
Well,
Iron
see,
Man, that's
yeah.
the biggest retcon in movie history besides I am your father. You know.
Well, see, that's the thing because if you decide to do Iron Man or you decide to do Captain America, that's how they get you because you've invested so much time in these people. You've laughed with these people.
10 years.
You've cried with these people. You know, you watched them fight against each other, but now you get to see it in a different perspective. You know, let's just say, what if either one of them dies in Endgame?
Somebody's
Right
gonna
before
die.
they die,
Nobody knows who Captain Marvel is. She's been rebooted 5 times in 7 years as a character in the comics. Marvel doesn't know what to do with Captain Marvel. They don't know what to do with her.
and that's why this came out. Because look,
And
the movie, you know, we just literally watched the movie today, so I can't necessarily say, hey, the movie's gonna flop, hey, the movie's gonna succeed. But let's just say that it succeeds, right? It literally gives Marvel the chance to have future female leads. Say it flops, they're gonna cut it.
yeah,
But you know, it's like he said, it starts out with a flashback. And I think honestly, the way the movie was made with flashbacks from her past, and then eventually they connect it, and then they actually show you the whole thing. I just think it was something new that the writers were trying, or like they were trying to create something new with this film. You know, like because there's no other film that's been done like this. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
all this flashbacks and stuff. But in the beginning, like, she's already in the Creed home planet.
Yeah.
She's that's where they start off, and then they have to go on a mission to go rescue one of the Krees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that they find the Skrulls. They fight a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie, from the beginning, whenever they fly in the airplanes and they drop in like under like an ocean or something like
Mhm.
that, and the whole team comes out, and you see Captain Marvel with the helmet and the mohawk for the first time there. You know, I thought it was really cool.
Was that like more towards the beginning of the movie?
Yeah, that was like the super beginning of the movie. But
when
then
she was established with the powers before you found out about the backstory.
yeah, she already has the powers, but because the way like really how this movie happens chronologically is not like how it starts. So like this is how
It's
chronologically
like
it
back
happens.
and forth all the
Yeah,
time.
let me show you chronologically. This is how it happened. She's born on Earth. She's from Earth, right?
Yeah.
She's a little girl.
She's an Air Force
Yeah,
pilot.
she joins the Air Force, and inside the Air Force, this is chronologically. It's not happening in the movie like this.
Yeah.
Inside the Air Force, she meets a woman, a doctor, who's actually Marvel. That's her name, and she happens to be a creep, but no one knows yet. Like, but this is
Get a little
chronological.
Get a little call back, to the comics with Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
All right.
And so she's working on something, like a weapon. The Kree thinks that she's making a weapon that's gonna help out the Kree beat the war against Skrulls. But secretly, there's a plot twist, right? She's really just like creating something to actually help out the Skrulls.
Yeah.
Like we learned that later on. Okay, well, anyways, in one of their missions, she was gonna take Carol Danvers. She was gonna take him to her laboratory, but when she was on her way to the laboratory, they get attacked by Jude Law group, a Kree.
Jude Law, yeah.
Yeah, Jude Law attacks them, right?
And so he kidnaps her.
Yeah.
Basically, because the cord that she was making that was gonna help out the squirrels was the engine base for the jet she was flying.
Yeah.
And so when Carol decides to shoot it, she ends up absorbing that power. That's how she gets her powers.
Yeah,
That's how she becomes Captain Marvel.
But we don't see
Jet
that in the
engine.
beginning.
You don't see that in the beginning. That's
Yeah,
right into what?
yeah.
Like almost the end of the
Yeah,
movie.
you actually see that at the end.
So she comes in, she's powerful as fuck, no powers explained, and
Not
you
yet.
find out later.
Yeah, how
later
she
on.
got it. So she blows up the engine base, which has the core that is.
I'm so sorry, dude.
It's all good. Which is the core, the power base that is supposed to help out the squirrels in the war to end it. Carol shoots it, becomes Captain Marvel by absorbing the powers, gets knocked out in the process, and gets taken. And so as she's taken, she's being taught, control your powers, do this, do that. She gets a chip implanted on her neck. Which is what's supposed to control her powers and get them taken away if she ever decides to turn on them.
Oh,
But
South Park the movie.
She gets taken and like they erase her memories and
Yeah.
what happened is
Like South Park the movie.
I didn't see
It's
it.
just-
But from
You never
that,
seen South Park the movie?
no.
What? Bigger, longer, and uncut?
I have.
I'm sorry, I'm done.
But from the moment that accident happens and she gets her powers to where the movie starts, in between has been 6 years. So that's why when the movie actually starts, she has all her powers and everything. She doesn't know anything. She
So
can't
it's like
remember anything.
2001 at that point.
No,
No,
it's 1995.
1995.
Present time there.
Yeah.
And the part where she was powerless and she was in the army was
Was it
6 years back.
89?
Yeah,
That's
89.
what the year I was born.
Yeah, it was 89.
Hey.
It was 1989. But yeah,
I
And
doubt
so- And so, she ends up going to Earth.
I thought she was from Earth.
Well, yeah, remember,
Well, that's what she got.
you remember she's
yeah,
in space.
Yeah.
she
So
was
she
crazy.
ends up coming down because she gets into a fight with the squirrels because she gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
And this happens also in the beginning of the movie
beginning.
when her and her team go infiltrate this planet where the squirrels are there. They're powerless. They're just trying to defend themselves. They take her to see what is the code to the core so they can end that war and find a home. Well, when she escapes from there, she gets thrown down to Earth in one of her escape pods. Boom! Lands in a Blockbuster.
Yeah, I
Old
remember
school
that.
throwback.
I remember
You know?
Blockbuster. That's where I used to buy my Dragon Ball Z tapes every Friday.
Dude, and that's old
Future
school.
Trunks killed fucking Frieza.
And so,
No, but see, that's like 99.
that's 95.
Yeah.
And they make it clear that it's 1995 in the movie.
Oh, I'm talking about like 99.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just delete all this.
Was it,
Well, when she lands there, there's like a security in a car.
there's a security
and
officer
he calls the police.
because he's scared.
Yeah.
And so she's there all night trying to signal her team, letting her know that she's on Earth. come to find out, Nick Fury and Agent Clarkson show up.
Carson.
Yeah, Carson.
Fury when he still has two eyes.
He has two eyes,
Yeah.
And so there's this
Yeah.
big scene where she's telling them, oh, the Skrulls are on Earth now, which they do show up. They come to Earth, they take the form of humans.
Yeah.
She's trying to warn them, oh, these guys here are going to do bad stuff. And yeah, that's kind of what they do. They try to take her. And so there's this big old scene in a train where one of the Skrulls takes the shape of an old lady.
Old lady.
Yeah.
And exactly, they straight start fighting inside the train. It was really
Wait,
cool.
so that was a whole extended scene?
That was a whole
The
fight.
old lady
yeah.
fought back? Because I
Yeah.
remember seeing
Joseph.
the
trailer.
The
previews,
trailer, yeah.
and she punches the old lady in the face. We're like, whoa, that's cool.
Well, that's a Skrull, so they start
Yeah.
fighting.
yeah, but I didn't know she fought back.
Yeah.
And so basically, what happens is this whole fight happens. Nick Fury's trying to get to her. Come to find out, he gets radioed in by Carlson, talking about, "Hey, I'm still at the Blockbuster. Where are you at?"
He's already way
Yeah.
the fuck.
If he's at Blockbuster, who's next to him?
It was.
It's a
It
Skrull.
was a scroll.
That was a big old plot twist right there, because you're like, oh snap.
Yeah.
He gets into a car accident, by killing him. He kills him, gets to a car accident in the process. And I like how they did a little foreshadowing there. He busted the top of his eyelid, and he constantly gets told, "Hey, how's your eye feeling?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah,
still has both
that's a
eyes.
good throwback.
Exactly. Well, it's not a throwback. It's some foreshadowing in there,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he messed up his eye. He could still see, but it's a sign of things to come.
Yeah.
And so what happens is they go and they experiment the Skrull, and they come to find out that his vital organs, what he's made of, none of that stuff, they can't physically trace it, because not only is he an
It's
alien,
alien,
come to find out Nick Fury's boss wants to keep other officials away from this whole investigation that's going on. He wants to be head honcho of it with Nick Fury. Come to find out his boss was a Skrull too.
Oh.
And by this point they're trying to find information on the doctor, and the codes and everything and what she needed. During this scene, there's one thing I noticed that I really enjoyed. During this point, Carol, Captain Marvel, she's wearing a 9-inch nail shirt, and it was super badass.
Well, it's the 90s for you.
Exactly,
Yeah.
But it's little things like that that
See,
you
it would have
throw
been
in
better
there.
if like they gave her like a Slipknot shirt.
Oh yeah, I mean, understandable, but it's little things like that.
That's true,
that
but given
count.
the time period, 9 Inch Nails makes sense.
Yeah, which later on in the movie, there's this scene where when she gets trapped, she gets put into a she's trapped, she's mind control, whatever. She's going through her past. They're playing some jams. Nirvana.
I hate Nirvana.
What? Well, that's besides the point.
It's beside the point.
It's little things like that you notice.
I mean, that's a good callback. Don't get me wrong.
Exactly. It's just little things like that
Yeah.
you're like, oh snap. Those
They're
little things
given
like
it the
that.
time period.
Exactly. Things like that just made me appreciate it even more.
Yeah.
There's this huge fight going on. The war. That's when you find out the Skrulls are the good guys.
I thought the squirrels were the bad guys.
I thought so too. But really what happened is the doctor was trying to help them out to reunite, and actually there's like a big space shuttle on
In a galaxy, yeah, there's a big old space, just it's crazy. Kind of find out who's in control of it, who's the leader of it all.
Who?
Ronan the Accuser. No matter what,
the
the
Creeds.
Skrulls go back
Yeah,
to him.
I know that he was like a Korean, and they had this whole thing where someone wanted to just like start fighting everybody, and he didn't. Or no, they wanted to be peaceful. He wanted to start fighting, so he split apart from them.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's in control of everything right here.
Yeah,
The Skrulls call back to him. With the group that Captain Marvel was in, call back to him.
The Creeds. Yeah.
Exactly, the Creeds. They all go back to him. He is in charge. He is the leader. And it's just little cameos like that. I want to say maybe he had a good 7-8 minutes of screen time.
Even though
Yeah,
he
the
doesn't
trailers made it seem
fight.
like he was gonna be in there more.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't fight.
He doesn't really fight. He just half of his team gets demolished real quick by her, and he just
Yeah.
he falls back.
He just
just
deuces.
leaves. Yeah, he just
Yeah.
dips. it's cool though. You know,
Well,
I appreciate it.
Before that, like towards the end, whenever the group of Skrull that was in Earth, they talk with Captain Marvel, and then they go to this like space shuttle that was the Doctor's laboratory, and then what comes to find out is the thing that she was using for power was actually the Tesseract.
That was the
The
big old
Tesseract.
plot
Whoa.
twist. That was the plot twist.
The Tesseract
Alright,
is
see,
there.
that's a good twist.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Yep, the
Just
Tesseract
messing
makes a
around with the
cameo in
Tesseract.
it.
Before Thanos just
Yeah.
Exactly.
got the
This is,
power
but
of
this is
reality.
how like, cause you know, like in Avengers.
What gem did he get from it?
The Space Stone?
Yes, the space. Yeah.
But you know how like in Avengers, Nick Fury and Shield already had the Tesseract, but this is how they got the Tesseract. Because when the guy went to the space shuttle, that's how they get the Tesseract. That's why in Avengers, which is like in the future of this, right? They already have it and they're working on it. They're experimenting.
Well, that's
with it.
Captain America where it first showed up.
Yeah, where the
Because
first
Red
one.
Skull
Yeah.
had it.
Yeah.
Or
But I'm saying-
should I say Red Squirrel?
The Red Skull. Which of course even Captain America, we're gonna go off topic real quick. Captain America is
Same universe.
it's Satan, of course, but way before that movie.
Yeah.
It's World War II.
Wait, Captain America's brought up in that movie? In
No,
Captain Marvel?
no.
Oh,
Timeline wise,
Oh.
it's Captain America,
Yeah.
and then you would put Captain Marvel in the timeline. Only
Yeah.
because it's 1995. You got a little bit of 80s, you got a little bit of
Well,
90s.
you also have to put in a little bit of Civil War because
Civil
when-
War is not until the present time.
No, but,
but,
there's the throwback whenever Bucky killed Tony's parents.
Oh, you know, just
It's before Captain Marvel.
yeah, you know, it's just it's
That's
a,
why I said a little bit of it.
it's a bunch of everything. The
Damn, that's a
Tesseract.
complex.
When
Yeah.
the Tesseract came through, things just that's when all the good action scenes started happening. It was a
The
lot of
last battle.
yeah. It's basically the big final battle. Just what Captain Marvel just wipes out Ronan's team. They leave. He takes the final boss. So what's the name again?
Running.
Yeah, no, not Ronan.
No problem.
Oh, Joe Luke.
There you go. Yeah,
Joe
I was about to look him
Ja
up.
Rule?
Joe
Ja Rule was the villain? He did Fire Festival and then he ruined this movie too? Damn, Ja Rule, what are you doing, bro?
So she ends up winning, but one of the scenes in there that I really liked is the movie starts. They're there. Her suit. She's got the green, gray, and black.
Oh, yeah. The one
And,
that
and
shows her
the
as
moment,
Despelado.
the moment when she finds out that they're the bad guys, that she was being used the entire time, she doesn't want to use the colors anymore. She can't.
Yeah.
And that's when her
Going
suit
on
comes in. Yeah,
The red one. The iconic one.
she gets the help choosing the color from her best friend's daughter, which in the movie she's her best friend. She watched her die, and she's basically had to live her life without ever seeing her best friend. She comes back, and it's like you get that quick second of tension between them, and then it's just like, okay, it's great seeing you. It's like you've never even left. She gets her suit, super cool. She gets her mask, get the big old mohawk,
Yeah, mohawk,
super
yeah.
cool.
Did it seem forced to you?
No, because they
You've
didn't.
seen it in the trailers.
They didn't rush the suit. They took their time with it. They developed a story with it, so that when you finally get the suit, you're like, holy snap, this looks really cool.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say the whole suit was complete CGI. Just good technology that they used. Super cool. I like the way they did some of the lighting in it to make it stand out even more. It looked, the lighting in there was good. The action sequences were good. It had a bunch of action, comedy in it, and everything just seemed to fit. Because
Let me ask you this. What do you think about Captain Marvel being the headstone of the MCU from here on out? Because that's what they're planning on.
and after seeing this movie, I don't really mind it. I would just like to see how everything plays in the end. And whether it goes uphill, whether it goes downhill, no matter what, I'm gonna watch the movies because I enjoy superhero movies. I enjoy them for what they are. So you
Yeah.
know, at the end of the day, you know, if you want to go see Captain Marvel, I say go do it. You know, like I said, 8.7 out of 10, only because of the flashback scenes. You know, why didn't I just give it like 9.5 or so? You know, every movie has its ups and its downs. That's one of the things. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Brie Larson is charismatic for the scenes that she has to be in, but you know, for most of it, it does feel pretty bland. Yeah, it does feel pretty bland. But you know, when she gets her moments to shine, you know, it's like, oh snap, you know, it's Captain Marvel.
So let me ask you this: from somebody who hasn't seen the movie and somebody who's very, subjective about Brie Larson because of her political ideas and how she's forcing the role on a bunch of people, who's turning people like me off of the movie, is it worth seeing?
If you walk into the movie theater with all that stuff outside of the door, everything that was said, everything that was done, you leave that outside of the door and you go in there and you sit down. Because at the end of the day, you're going to pay money for the movie.
Yep.
You sit down, you watch the movie for what it is. A superhero movie, an action comedy.
Oh, so there's comedy elements.
Yeah, and that's what
course.
Talos
It's
is.
MCU.
That's the lead scroll, Talos, right? The comedy that he has in there, it's just, you can feel that connection between him and Goose, you know, the cat.
The cat.
Because he is super
Big
scared.
Chungus.
He is super scared of the cat. But because he knows it's not a cat. It's the shape of a cat, but it's not a cat.
Spoilers, bro.
You know? And that's the point, you know? If you walk in there and you sit down and you watch it and you appreciate that, you're going to have a good time. You're gonna enjoy the movie.
Well, I recommend the movie.
I'll say like this. I open up this argument with, I don't want to see Captain Marvel, change my mind. And I think it's clear to say they successfully changed my mind. I kind of want to go see this movie now.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of good talking points, and there's a lot of good counter arguments for some pre-biased, opinions I had on the movie. And I kind of want to go see the movie now, just based on what y'all said.
We're not gonna get into this because this is the one thing we do not want to really speak on too much. The post-credit scene.
Just don't even bring it up. It's not even
All I can really just say is that it's there, and it's good. But that should not be the only reason why you go watch this movie.
Oh, that's not. Everything you've talked about.
Yeah.
You pretty much spoil the whole plot of the movie.
I mean,
granted, I signed up for this. I agreed to this. I asked for this, and after hearing them talk about the entire plot, I'm intrigued because it's not some left-wing political, whatever. Politics aside, I'm interested in seeing
a superhero movie.
It's a superhero movie.
Think about it like this: my favorite MCU movie, Civil War.
Great movie.
Right?
Great movie.
If it had the same political backlash that this one does, would you go watch it?
No, because the characters are already established.
At
I'm
least
gonna go
in my
watch
opinion.
it. They changed my mind.
In my opinion, it is worth it. And with all that being said,
Go out and watch it.
what is the final verdict? What is the final verdict for the movie? If you were to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, if you and me were, because Sean hasn't seen it yet, but if you and me were to total it out, what would you like? What would you give it?
I mean, I earlier I said I would give it an 8.
8. So you got an 8.7, and an 8 and an 8.7. So at most it's
8.3.
8.3.
8.35. Yeah.
Okay. And
Average score.
It's not the best, but it's not the worst.
Yeah, I mean,
You never know.
There's only 3 movies that are rated less.
Honestly, though, I don't think they're gonna recast her.
All right, so I asked these guys to prove me wrong that I don't want to see Captain Marvel, and I think they've done a pretty good job. And I think I'm gonna go watch this movie now.
And you should.
I think all of you should too. I think they've brought up some pretty good points about the movie, not the actresses or actors involved in the movie. I don't know if that's going to be involved. You can cut this out too. But I think that it'll probably be a fun time, just subjectively.
Go in there with the mindset of it's a superhero movie. It is a action movie. It is a little bit of comedy, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Enjoy it for what it is, and you will have fun. That's all I can really tell you. You know, it's not more I can tell you. You know, if you sat through this whole thing, that we pretty much told it for you. But you know, it's good. You know, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys for watching. We are SNN Productions. Stay tuned for the next video coming out in the next couple days or week. Who knows? Whenever you come watch this video. But
Peace
catch
out.
you guys again.